Hello and welcome to the Chris McPherson Show for another live watch along. We are digging into the first Ashes test between England and Australia, some rugby league action, and I'm joined by Jay Jordan. Jay, mate, this is going to be good. Getting the Ashes series happening again.
It's going to be wicked. I mean, Australia and England, obviously, all known for the cricket, but bringing it back after a fair few years, Australia and England in the footy, it's certainly one to watch.
Yeah, it sure is. We've got both sides lining up at the moment, getting ready, going through the anthems, all that fun stuff. The Aussies are going to go in as favourites, Jay. Mate, do you give the Poms much of a chance? How do you see it shaping up? Obviously, they've got some good NRL experience, ex NRL, plenty of Super League boys as well.
I mean, they've got Dom Young in there. He's definitely a shining star for them. But Australia, you just look at their team. They've got grand finalists in Reece Walsh. They've got Pat Hogan in there, Cameron Munster. Their team is just absolutely star-studded. Australia. And you'd have to say that they're going to end up thrashing them, but they certainly put some points on. And Australia would definitely be the favourites going into this one.
Yeah, you think they'll be favourites. Certainly with the bookies, they've got that edge. Looking forward to seeing George Williams again. Obviously, we saw him out here with the Raiders a couple of years ago. Herbie Farmworth, another one. They've got some talent. The Poms. It's just about how does that match up? Is it going to be enough to challenge the Aussies for 80 minutes?
Yeah, I don't know. I think Australia's back line, it's very strong. England obviously got some great players in there from the Super League and from the NRL, but I think from Australia's standpoint, you look at their back line and you've got some quality players in there. Reece Walsh, you've got who else you got there? You got Cameron Munster in at that six role. You've got Joshua Okara. He's aging. He's still there. And in England, you've got Dom Young, quality football player. We know what he's capable of. Went from the Roosters back to the Knights. Got Herbie Farmworth in there. He's definitely one to watch for England. And I think those two especially are going to be some big players for them. I reckon they'll score a few tries tonight.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing. I just want to get a look at a couple of guys for England that we don't see as much of the Super League players, and most notably Jack Wellesby, who's going to have a big job at fullback, and then Mikey Lewis, who was obviously a key part of that Hull KR side that broke that long drought winning the Super League title a couple of weeks ago. So we talked about George Williams; he'll play six. Dom Young, Herbie Farmworth in those outside backs as well, and then we'll see the likes of Matty Lees up front, who's been strong in the Super League. But then, speaking of NRL players, that back row, John Bateman, Kai Pearce-Paul, and Morgan Knowles, they're going to have a big job to do too. You talked about it coming up against Angus Crichton, Hudson Young, and Isaiah Yeo, who will captain the Aussies.
Yeah, I mean, Australia just got that quality side. But, you look at that England team, they've got some quality players in there, like George Williams, like you mentioned. John Bateman in that second row role there, he's a real quality player. Daryl Clark in there at hooker, but matching up against players like Harry Grant, Angus Crichton, the Australian halfback, probably arguably the best player in the league. Nathan Cleary. It's going to be a real test for England, but I reckon they'll be up for the challenge. They've got some good players on the bench in Jeff Linton and Owen Trout and Mike Meekin and things like that. So I feel like coming off the bench, they'll really make an impact for England.
Were you surprised to see AJ Brimson not in the 17 for England? He's obviously their 18th man, their concussion substitute.
To be, he had a really good season at the Titans, and he's been playing some great NRL footy. So I think that he was a bit unlucky and hard done by there to miss out in this game. It is what it is, and that's what the English selectors have gone with. But I do think that he has been hard done by. I was pretty surprised by that.
It's a tough one, AJ, isn't he? Like it's the same with the Titans. Realistically, is what is his best position, and because he's so versatile, he's almost too versatile that he doesn't actually just nail down and own a position. But yeah, it's going to be a big ask for these guys. The front row rotation, Havard and Lees are going to have to get going. England have got to turn this into a grind. They're playing under, I guess, an amalgam of the Super League and NRL rules. There will be a slower ruck than what we're used to in the NRL. That's one thing to watch for. And the other thing, it doesn't sound like a lot, but it will be an interesting piece, is that they will be playing under the Super League offside rule, which requires the players to get both feet back onside, not just one as we're used to in the NRL.
Yeah, well, that's unique. I didn't even know that was coming in. 2 feet back on the line. That's certainly going to be an interesting one. That's something that I'm sure Shane would have worked on in training. But that's, well, I reckon that might be one of the biggest factors, especially for Australia getting that 2 feet back. But as well as playing that slower arc and playing those English rules, Australia certainly would have had to be working on those and learning all of those. But I think in the Super League, they tend to run the ball a lot more than what we do in Australian Rugby League, and especially fifth tackle options. They love to run the footy. They don't kick it as much as what we see. So maybe that might be something we see from England, and certainly they may take advantage of the knowledge of the rules in this game. As much as what we see, so maybe that might
Yeah, it is going to be interesting. Well, we'll see how it all goes. We're set for kickoff. Let's take one last run through those starting lineups. We'll go through just the starting 13 for you. So for the visitors, Reece Walsh at fullback, Mark Nwanga Nitawasi on the wing. The other winger will be Josh Adokar, Tony Staggs, and Gemet Shibasaki in the centres. Cameron Munster and Nathan Cleary the halves. Pat Carrigan will be up front. Tino Fasul Malaawi will be the other front rower. Harry Grant at 9. Angus Crichton, Hudson Young, and Isaiah Yeo, who is captaining the Kangaroos, will be the back row makeup. And then for the Poms, we've got Jack Wellesby at fullback, Dom Young and Tom Johnston on the wings, Herbie Farnworth and Jake Wardle in the centres, George Williams at 6, their captain, the former Canberra Raider, Mikey Lewis at 7, Ethan Havard will be up front with Matty Lees, Darryl Clark, the experience at 9, and then as we said, that NRL triumvirate in the back row, John Bateman, Kai Pearce, Paul and Morgan Knowles. So looking forward to it. It's going to be England kicking it off. All right, it's time to put our money where our mouth is here, Jay. What are we going with, mate?
That's it.
What's going to happen here? Who's your tip and by how much?
We've just kicked off Australia. I think Australia by, or I'm going to say 14. Australia by 14. I think they'll get a nice win, cruise into the second test. I think a 14-point win.
I think Australia by 10. I think it'd be a little bit closer. I wouldn't be surprised they blow them out, but I think there's a little bit of optimism there. So we'll sort of see how it plays out. We'll try and work out how we're going here too, because I think that we might have a bit of slightly different timing in our feeds, but we'll
Hmm.
see how it goes early. I think the Aussies will try and keep this pretty simple this first set, and they're certainly looking that way early.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here you go. You see Isaiah Yo, and they're just running it up the middle here. The 40 odd second mark here. They're having a really good start here, Australia. Just taking it slow, like you said, off the ruck. Last tackle, just taking it to Cleary. Quality with that clinical bomb kick. He's known for that, and he loves that long kick. But here you go, England with their first set. Keen to see how they'll go with their first set of the game.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what sort of yardage they utilise. Yeah, it's interesting too, where we see so many of these Super League players now. We've seen quite a few Super League players in some of the other Test sides in the Pacific internationals as well. We're seeing some of the guys coming across for PNG. There's a few PNG boys that are playing and those sorts of things. So it's been great to see all the international footy with the Pacific Championships and everything happening in recent weeks. The Kumul's got a good win today over the Cook Islands as well. I don't know if you caught much of that one.
Hmm. Yeah, I saw that a bit of that, and I saw that. I don't know which one. It was one of them, I swear. Or Samoa and Tonga it might have been. Got close to edging out New Zealand there. I watched that game. That was a good game. But just on that championship, that international championships you're talking about there, with all those players coming around. Obviously, you get players that aren't obviously going to make this Australian team, and they might not be at that level yet. But just like a couple of examples, there might be. I know Kurt Donahue. I know him quite well actually outside of this, and he obviously is Australian, but he's not going to make this Australian team as not of yet. He's got Harry Grant to go up against, and you're not going to beat him at any time soon. So next best option for him would be playing for Fiji, which he's doing, and he'd be getting some international money there, and that's certainly good on his little report card for future clubs that want to try and get him.
Yeah, well, he was certainly strong in that first win up against Cook Islands last week. I actually had a chat with Kurt last week, and he plays for Fiji. He's eligible through his grandmother, so it's wonderful for him. And I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the evolution of the international game, though, because at the end of the day, we're going to be in a situation soon enough where players won't be able to transfer eligibility like we've seen in recent times with Payne Haas and co. So they're going to
Yeah.
have to make potentially sticking decisions, but we will see how that goes. So it's an interesting one. You got to take the opportunity. It's a great opportunity for someone, like Donahue, Jack de Bellin's playing for PNG, these sorts of players
Hmm.
where, as you say, they're potentially not, well, they're certainly not at the moment in the frame for Australia, but they may not be at all, depending on where they get to with
Yeah.
the peaks of their career. But you're going to have to make some decisions. And look, I like it. I think we need to find a way to try and encourage some of these players to represent the heritage because I like the fact that international rugby league is becoming a little bit more competitive. It's not just, I mean, it's still pretty much most of the time the Aussies or the Kiwis turn up and win. But as you said, last week the Kiwis 24-18 winners over Toa Samoa. So And you look at that Samoan side. We saw Tonga go really deep in one of the Pacific Championships recently. They went to the final. But you've got Murray Taulagi, you've got Simi Sasagi, Blaze Talangi in this back line. For that Samoan side, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, Jerome Luai captaining, then you got Papali'i and Haas up front. That's some serious punch. Guys that wouldn't have considered it before. So I think we really need to make sure we're getting some funding into the international game. But time will tell. This is a bit of a
Yeah.
feeling out though early on. No one trying anything too flashy at the moment.
No, but just back on that, in that Samoa game against England a few years ago, it was such a shock. I mean, it was such a shock that Samoa beat England, but now we fast forward and that's sort of the standard. That's the norm. You see Tonga and Samoa and teams like that competing against Australia and New Zealand and England and actually making a game out of it, which is what we want, and that's good for footy as well, especially in those smaller island countries, but also on firming up about who can play for their country and whatnot. I think, say, if you're Samoan and you want to play for Australia, that's great. You can't play for Australia and you want to play State of Origin, you can play for New South Wales or Queensland. That's fine. But you can't go and play for Samoa 4 years later and keep playing for New South Wales. I think if you play for Australia, then you are Australian. You can't go and play for Samoa
I'm gonna,
later on.
I'm
And
gonna, I'm
if
gonna have to
you want to
disagree with you on
play,
that, and we've just got an error here from the Aussies. So the English an opportunity to take this out, just short of halfway. They'll get a scrum. I actually think the best thing for rugby league would be to allow players, so long as you meet the criteria to do both pieces, to play for your nation, so long as you are eligible for that nation, and then you were also eligible to play state of origin. So you played the predominant amount of your junior football in that state, as the rules state now. Your first games at that age, I think it's 16's the cutoff now, were there. We tighten those up a little bit, but if you've got a player like Jerome Luai, why do we need to have state of origin that becomes so exclusive that players can then only play for Australia? Because all that does is it means a lot of these players won't go back and play because there's $90,000 a year if you're a state of origin player. But surely the international game's better for having Jerome Luai playing for Samoa rather than having him play for playing for Australia. But he still meets the criteria for New South Wales.
yeah, he does. But in saying that, I just feel like if you're going to be playing for New South Wales or Queensland, then you're Australian, and you can't really be from anywhere else. And that's nothing. I love Samoan people, everything. That's all great. But I just think if you're going to play for State of Origin, New South Wales or Queensland, I just feel like you need to be playing for
But
the country that you're
we've
playing
seen a
for, the
mistake
state
here
that.
from England now. But yeah, I get where you're coming from that, like, from the purest sense of the word. But again, can you understand the point that all it's going to lead to is a lot of these players, because at the end of the day, they've got to do the best they can to financially line themselves while they're in average NRL career is quite short realistically.
Mm,
They've got to do the
yeah,
best they can. So if that's the case, then all we're going to do is end up stockpiling the players back playing for Australia. We have two or three countries who can compete because the Payne Haas's of the world, the Jerome Luais, they're going to lose. Not only are they going to lose getting less match payments for the international matches playing for Samoa than Australia get, they're also going to lose out on that origin bonus. The only
yeah,
possible upside is that they can maybe negotiate a slightly better contract because they're not playing during the origin period in the NRL. But I just think that if we are truly genuine about growing the international game, that we need to have a look at some sort of amalgam or hybrid there to give that opportunity. But anyway, we're obviously going to disagree on that. So
yeah,
those couple of people tuning in, let us know in the comments what your thoughts are. If there's not many staying up late this time, it's a tough time slot, that's for sure, Jay.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. Be the same for. I'm just going to say, all the fans that watch the Premier League and all those European soccer leagues, you get up at 2 a.m. to watch your team. You got to get up at an even earlier time to get up and watch your country. Surely you can't be slacking off at 12 a.m. to get up and not watch this, but you can
I
get
think
up
I
two
think
and a half
it's a
hours later to watch the
different
soccer.
cohort of people though, generally, Jay. You and I are
It
very,
is.
very
It
few
is.
and far between in terms of the overlap. But that's a
Oh,
good run just back there from Dom Young.
oh. I think you're a bit behind me, but England just made a little kick through there and it was a third tackle option. They were 45 all the way, maybe halfway, and it got through and then the pass got deflected away. Not sure if it was forward or it was touched by an
It
Australian,
was
but
knocked
it
down
was
by
good to
Reece
see.
Walsh.
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah, yeah. I think you're probably a half a tackle in front of me there. So it's
Yeah.
interesting though. See England starting being the first ones to really start chancing their hand, and it came off the back of that good run from Dom Young where he bounced out of a tackle, and Isaiah Yo's left very groggy by it. So it'll be interesting to see if he has to go off for
Mm.
HIA.
Yeah. You tend to see that a lot now. Yeah. you get a bit of a head knock and they let you go for a tackle or two, and then straight away they say, no, you got to go to the HIA. And 9 times out of 10, they're fine, but you do get that one occasion where they might not be okay. And yeah, there he goes, Zayo for a HIA. So he'll be gone for a short period of time. He
Yeah,
should
well,
return, but
15 minutes. So
yeah,
unfortunately, you can't take risks with it now with all the things that go on.
no,
Interesting
yeah.
to see with the referees as well. We've got an English referee today. Test two will be Grant Atkins, who refereed the NRL Grand Final. The third
Hmm.
test yet to be decided. It'll be interesting to see what they do there. They might have to find a neutral somewhere. Might need a
Kiwi.
Kiwi. Chance here for
Oh,
England.
this
They'll
is the
start
best
this set.
best chance for England. Yeah,
So Cotter will come on at lock.
yeah. If uh, if Isaiah fails this HIA, Bradman Best will come in on the bench.
No, he won't because it wasn't foul play.
No. Oh, yeah. Fair enough.
So
Good
yeah, it's only
tackle.
if it's foul play they can
Hudson
immediately
Young.
bring in the 18th man. Otherwise, I think you've got to have there's some other things that have got to occur.
Yeah.
Hudson Young really throwing himself into some tackles here.
Good defense here, but I'll try not I'll try not to say much about tries and things just in
No,
case.
that's all
But
right, mate. If you see it, you see it. You can
yeah,
have the
righto.
jump start. Your internet's obviously half a step quicker than mine tonight. Nice cutout ball to no one.
Yeah.
Touchy was in for a try there if he caught that.
Oh yeah. It was a good ball. It was a really good read, but Dom Young just not wide enough. Probably could have took a half a step wide, and he would have caught that. I reckon he fancies himself in those situations, Dom Young, but it's maybe a bit too far inside, and they couldn't quite capitalise on that one. England. They look to go again.
I think Dom Young was looking for
Australia
Wellesby and
have the
his
ball.
and Farmworth to slide out and run the overs lines, and then him just to sweep back underneath as an option and almost crash back against the grain. So a little bit of
Yeah.
miscommunication between the Super League fullback and the NRL winger. What were your
One
thoughts on
thing
Marky Mark rocking up to the airport with his Wallabies luggage?
that's I was about to go on and mention about that. I thought, oh, if you're playing for Australia and the Kangaroos, you can't be rocking up with the cross code here. That's ridiculous. But yeah, that
They
was
got to get some Kangaroos luggage for him, I suppose.
I know. Yeah, he's got to, and then he'll go and play for the Wallabies and he'll start rocking his Kangaroos gear instead.
I don't know, mate. That looked like a pretty solid and sweet suitcase. I wouldn't mind one of them myself. So.
Yeah, bit of clean that one.
Yeah, the Aussies are looking a bit more dangerous
They're
here, just starting
scrambling.
to play a bit more wide shape.
Who do you think? Obviously, we know Cameron Munster is a 5'8", but do you think Nathan Cleary will be that ball dominant kicking half, and Munster will be more of that playmaking half?
No, I think Cleary will be the lead kicker. He'll also be the lead ball player. Munster will run more. He'll put that
Yeah.
running game in. That's where he sort of, you see it when he plays for Queensland, and he's got a strong game manager alongside him
Hmm.
that he can do that. Marky Mark just really lucky not to give away a penalty there. To be fair.
Yeah, I was about to say he got really close there. Like in the NRL, that's week in week out. That's going to be a penalty, but with an English ref playing those English rules, you never know.
Yeah, that's a little bit of an adjustment to get used to.
Oh, they've got a good play here. Nice tackle, Nathan Cleary. They drive him back. Ruben Cotter in there as well with Hudson Young. Last tackle here. Bomb goes
Yeah,
up just
Young's
before
really looked like
halfway.
he's trying to make he's just those extra effort areas here.
Yeah.
I think he's probably
Oh,
one of the
Walsh
form
nearly
players in the
slipped through.
NRL at the back end of the season, to be fair.
Yeah. Yeah, he was really hard done by with the Raiders this year, obviously getting done in the first 2 games of the year. That was he wants some redemption in some way or another, and this is his way of doing it. Reece Walsh knocked that ball on is what it looks like, and that's what it's going to be. So
So John
England
Bateman's given him some
will get
solid
the scrum
thoughts.
here.
I've liked what I've seen
It
from the
just
from Havard so far in a couple of little runs here for England. Yeah, Reece Walsh decided to try and dive forward and take out John Bateman's legs just
yeah,
because he felt a
I
little
thought he
love
knocked
tap.
that
You're not going to
on.
get that in the English game. Even in the Australian game, you're probably hard pushed to get a penalty there. Just trying to
Yeah,
milk it.
are they doing a challenge? Are they?
What's that?
Australia are challenging this. Australia's challenging this call here. I've seen it on the
Dear, oh
replay
dear.
already.
The
I
cap the
don't think
captain's
this is
challenge is
a
the worst thing
ridiculous
to come into
challenge.
rugby league.
Yeah, I agree.
Just get on
It's
with it.
so inconsistent.
Well, we're 13 minutes gone. No points yet.
He
Reese
makes a
Walsh, you
clear
don't get
grab.
your benefit of the doubt that you're getting all the NRL games
No,
here.
no.
No, don't go headbutting
Yeah,
anyone
these
today.
refs
You
don't
might
get
actually get
paid.
sent off.
These refs don't get paid like the Australian ones do by him.
Oh dear, that's a pretty big
He's
allegation,
fooled us.
Sunshine. Jeez. I was just saying
Hopefully he doesn't
he
listen
gets the
to this and we'll
superstar
be
rub of the
okay.
green like Kalen Ponga and Mitch Moses.
Hopefully he doesn't listen to this and we'll be okay.
Oh,
I don't know
I
why they're
don't.
challenging this Australia. He's made a clean grab at his ankle there.
Yeah, I mean the
And
gravity's
the
ankles
challenge
are
is
after the fact
successful.
anyway.
The challenge is successful, Chris. I
Yeah, so the
cannot
reason the
believe that.
challenge is successful is because they're saying that the player who was to the side of the ruck had his hand on him. It wasn't actually anything about John Bateman, I think.
Oh,
And so that's brought him to
still, I
ground.
don't know.
And to be fair, like you have to, once the tackle is complete, you do have to immediately stand and clear the player. So,
Yeah, yeah.
um, yeah, Australia probably fortunate there, I would have thought, but
hmm
maybe Reece Walsh does get the special treatment in England too.
Yeah. Is it Saturday in England now? Is it a Saturday?
Yeah, it will be Saturday afternoon. Yep,
Yeah, yeah.
Saturday afternoon. Wembley
Is there
looking
any?
magnificent.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Is there Premier League games on or now or in the coming hours?
There will be in the coming hours. I don't know if there's any Saturday afternoon games on today. I can tell you in a second.
Yeah, I don't know. The crowd's
No,
pretty big, but
there'll be
I
some
thought
games
it'd
kicking off
be.
in about 15 minutes. So
Oh,
there's two games: Chelsea, Sunderland, Newcastle, Fulham,
yeah,
and
righto.
then Man United,
Yeah, I
Brighton
don't
will
know.
be at 3:30 Eastern time for us, and then there's the 6 a.m. game. So there's just the four Saturday games this weekend.
Yeah, yeah. I was just saying because I thought the crowd looked a little bit, I guess, lower than what I expected. I thought it'd be almost the cellar, which it almost is, but there's still that upper bay in the ground where there's a fair few empty seats. I thought there'd be a
Yeah,
fair
but
few
you
more
got to
than there
remember
is on a
rugby
Saturday
league,
afternoon.
especially in London itself. Rugby league is centred in the north in England. So they
Yeah,
don't tend to get as many crowds. They don't tend to get the same sort of draw. If you have a look at, your average Super League crowds and things like that, like they would be, I would suggest significantly lower than what you'd be looking at for rugby union and definitely for soccer or football.
yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I mean, I think this year I'm just having a look now. They broke the record for the highest attendances, and the average attendance was 9,800.
Oh God,
So yeah.
yeah.
So the highest attendance was a early game this season with 45,000.
I
Um,
think
so
I think the teams in last in the NRL get that on average,
yeah, well that's
probably
exactly
probably
right.
more.
Like even like a club like Cronulla who've only got 12,000 seat stadium,
Yeah,
um, you know, would get that. So to think when you think what's the capacity there at Wembley, it's 90,000 odd. So they've probably got 60 plus in there, even
yeah,
with half that top tier empty. It's probably
yeah,
not a bad turnout really.
yeah. Well, Wembley would be equivalent to a core stadium, which you say in the capacity and I guess even the ground sort of structure. Or Joshua Dakar couldn't quite hold on to that ball that went away from him. He was a bit too quick, the speedy fox. But yeah, just Wembley, it's sort of like a core in a way. I mean, the seats and how many it holds, obviously different colour seats, but everything else, it's sort of like in a core stadium, and they use it for multi-purpose.
They do. It's
FA
used for
Cup
pretty much
final.
everything. I'll tell you what, just sorry to interrupt. Just looking at that pass from
Yeah,
Reece Walsh was miles off the mark.
yeah,
Addo Carr's not to blame there. He was on a good angle, holding his pace, and Walsh just threw it behind him.
yeah.
A few little errors early costing the Aussies. No one's. I don't think either side's really been inside the attacking 20 yet in 16 and a bit minutes gone.
No. Oh, England. I think England. Oh, it probably be one apiece. I think Australia might have had one tiny little chance, and
Yeah,
made an error
nothing
off that,
really though.
and
If it's
I
amounted
think
to
England
anything.
have,
So
yeah, no, not really any scoring chances, but they've been inside. Oh, knock on. Yeah, knock on Australia ball. Geez, Cam Munster fired up, and so is Angus Crichton absolutely fired up from that knock on, trying to get something going for their players here. They haven't had much really, like you said, Chris, either team, not much happening. So both teams trying to get their players fired up from any mistakes from the other team.
yeah, well, they're
I
certainly needing
didn't
to,
expect.
to get something happening here, both sides. Sort of a bit of a
hmm
dour arm wrestle at the moment.
Yeah, well, I didn't expect after 17 and a bit minutes to not see any score. I thought even a penalty goal would be on the cards, but there's been nothing so far.
We
But
we only had the one penalty, haven't we? Which is off the back of that review.
yeah,
So
yeah.
possession pretty even early as well.
hmm
Couple of mistakes each. The real talking point. That's good, strong defence too from the English. Trying to set the tone and give it back. That tackle just before Knowles on his Canberra teammate, Hudson Young. Boys getting
Yep.
into each other.
Oh, Nathan Cleary, good pressure there from England. Good hard tackle. Probably, he didn't have too much time there, Nathan Cleary, to get rid of that ball. But if he had just a touch more time, he could have got that pass away, and Australia could have made something. But good, strong defence from England. Last tackle, Munster puts up the bomb 40 out from the England line. Dom Young and Addo Carr picks it up. It's taken down on last from Dom Young, and it'll be an England ball.
That was smart
Just
from Dom
picked
Young.
in.
Just watched that
Yeah,
Okar. Knew that he could outleap him if he needed to, but didn't want to take the lottery. So just body checked him and then dragged him to ground.
yeah, very, very smart decision. Better than going up for that risky catch and contest it and possibly knock it on. I think our 10 and 14 points, we might be pretty on par here, Chris. We haven't seen. I mean, the game hasn't
I
showed
was going
too
to say, there's
much
a long way to
anyway,
go,
but
Jay. There's a long way to go.
there
60
is a
something
long way to
minutes.
go. There is a long way to go, but we haven't seen too much. But yeah, I don't know. We might be on par here. One of us. Ruben Cotter, nice tackle there, trying to assert his dominance over John Bateman. Go to the right hand side to the blind. Good ball. They get up to halfway here, England. Last tackle of the set. Oh, there's a cramp. Uh-oh. Herbie Farmworth. He's going to get up and play the ball, but yeah, he's got a bit of a cramp in
Yeah,
his
it's got a
leg
bit of a
there.
cramp. That calf you can see already. That's not a good sign after 20 minutes, is it?
No, no, not at all. Reece Walsh, good, exploding off the line. Good run. Got through one. Up by some solid England defence.
Let's do it.
Australia, they're just sitting back. They're all just watching. Oh, good play. They could tackle. Way to hold on to the tackle there from England, but Australia, they didn't have too much going on the first couple of tackles there. They're all sort of just sitting around watching, I guess, waiting to get their plays set and get ready. But they're all sort of packed in the middle here, Australia. Hudson Young takes it up. Fourth tackle off the set. A tick over 20 minutes gone here for Australia.
Just still in that grind and arm wrestle, aren't they? Two sides. It's a nice kick out of half though. It'll just try and turn things around. So where do you see it opening up here, mate?
Oh, I think for Australia on the edge. I mean, they've tried to attack that the right hand defensive edge, sorry, I should say, of England, but Australia, they just haven't really had too many chances to capitalise. Obviously, we saw the Reece Walsh pass to Addo Carr, which didn't quite work out, but they've had a few chances and they've been targeting that side a fair bit, Australia.
Looks like it's going to be a bit of a war of attrition this first half, doesn't it? Just like even the outside backs already. Like Dom Young's had quite a lot of carries early.
Yeah, he has, and I think it is at the moment in this first 20 or so minutes really going to be a battle of the backs. You see the wingers and the fullbacks taking it off the first couple of runs of the new set, regardless of what's been happening in the game. They've all sort of been doing it, Josh O'Carr, but it's really been just, I guess, filling each other out. And we're 21 and a half minutes in. You'd think you'd see something, but yeah, like I
Yeah,
said, it's just still sort of filling each other out.
it's a matter of who's going to try and pull that first strike and starting to see some more of the interchange coming on. Lindsay Collins getting
You go
involved in the
Australia.
fray. So
Oh, Reece Walsh is in. Australia get the first points.
look at that. That was
Good
beautiful lead
try,
up work.
actually. Lovely lead up
Walsh
work. They
doing the lead
spread
up
the
work
ball.
and gets it back. The show pony work probably over the top when he scores, but
That's ridiculous. A Kiwi's going for Australia in a Warriors jersey here. closer to us than to England, I guess.
Yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? When we're playing each other, we're up against it, but pretty much anyone else takes them on, then maybe the love's there, and he's probably
Yep.
just happy. You got to remember Reece Walsh, Reece Walsh had
Yeah.
that time over there at the Warriors.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll be regretting to let him go all those years ago.
Yeah, I don't think they had too much real opportunity around it though, right? Like he went over there and got a bit of drama, etc. So
Ooh, they could be checking a potential obstruction here.
Carrigan going through the line, he
Hudson
doesn't
Young.
touch anyone though. Then the next one,
No.
Hudson Young
Oh,
just clipping
he gets
George
close to
Williams, is
the
it?
halfback. Yeah.
No, not George
I don't
Williams.
think
Sorry,
that's
it'd be Mikey
intentional.
Lewis.
I don't think there's anything in that. I think Hudson Young's just running his line and
Yeah,
he
I
comes
think
in
Hudson
and
Young
Williams or
turns
the
his body
halfback just
enough that
commits to the
he'll
tackle.
have a look at it. The fact that he's collected his foot might go
Oh, that could be
against
a
him.
forward pass, No Wangane Tuase. Could be a forward pass to Stags. It looked like it, but I don't think that's what they're looking for.
Well, yeah, I think the rules are the same over there. They can't actually judge on forward passes. I think they're going through and
Yeah.
looking at grounding
I don't like this swan dive from Reece Walsh. It scares me. He's going to drop it one day, and it's going to be in a big game.
or break a
I can
rib.
see it. Yeah,
That's
or
all right.
break a
He can
rib.
do it in a big game for Brisbane or Queensland. That's fine.
Yeah, just not for Australia. Well, they've given it. It's a try. Australia have first points on the board.
Yeah, he might be lucky there, Hudson Young, I reckon. But anyway,
Yeah,
I'm struggling even as a former referee to interpret how they interpret the obstruction rule a lot of the time.
yep. It always sort of chops and changes.
Australia lead 4
Depends
0
on
with a
who's
kick
in
to
the bunker,
come.
more or less.
Reece Walsh just getting a little bit of
Nathan
strapping on the
Cleary,
ankle by the look of it.
the Iceman, as calm as ever, just slots it through the big uprights at Wembley Stadium.
6
Trade jump
0,
out to a 6
22 and
0
a
lead,
half
22 and a
gone.
half gone. Straight after one another, just copied each other.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. We've seen our first points. It took us a while, but we've got some points on the board.
Do the gates open now? That's the question.
Oh, that
Reece
yeah,
Walsh would have been a short
potentially.
price for first try scorer.
Oh yeah,
I reckon he probably
there
would
would
have
have been a
been
few, I
third
reckon,
favourite
from
behind that
Australia.
man that threw the ball back inside with the questionable pass, and probably the
Yeah,
Fox.
yeah, yeah. What about for England? Who do you think for England? I mean, Dom Young would have to be up there, wouldn't he, for
Oh,
sure?
the wingers are always going to be short, right?
Farnworth.
That's how it works. So,
Yeah,
mate,
yeah,
speaking of the Fox, obviously plying his trade at your club, mate. You got your Eels colours on. What are your thoughts on the Pezzett
yeah.
deal?
Oh, I like it. I mean, we've got a player that we need, and he's certainly going to help us next season. But I don't like that we've only got him for a year. Why spend some money on him and then he's going to bugger off and go do everything that we taught him and go and tell the Broncos? Like,
I'm going to be honest. I don't think he's going to tell anyone anything revolutionary. There's
no,
no state
no.
secrets
But
going around. But I think it's a the thing was he was never signing at Parramatta for more than a year. The Broncos just weren't ready to
yeah,
have him this year. He would have been staying at Melbourne if that was the case. But
yeah,
he opted out of that, and so Melbourne were wiser, I think. And yeah, I just
yeah,
don't see it unless there's someone in the Parramatta power brokers that thinks that they're, I dropped a video on this a couple of days ago that thinks that they're a chance of a premiership and he's going to get them across the line, which I don't know. I don't know about you, mate. You're a Parramatta fan, so you might be a little bit more optimistic than me. I see them as a side that probably runs somewhere between fourth and ninth next year.
yeah. I wouldn't say fourth. I would say maybe sixth to tenth. I think Para next year will have a good season. I think that we will make the eight. Or we'll certainly be in and around
Hang
there.
on, yeah,
We'll
a good
we'll
season.
scrape in.
Ninth or tenth, not a good season.
It's better than this year.
Yeah, but that's like saying that
Going up is always a good
that's like
thing.
saying that getting stabbed in the legs better than getting murdered. It's still not a good thing.
No, but I mean, we look back from the 2022 grand final against Penrith, and we just went downhill from there. So getting anywhere near finals is what the goal is.
Yeah,
And
I
if we
think
have to
my
miss
thing
out
is
by a
though, like
place or two,
unless you
then
genuinely think the premiership window's open, realistically going and paying the money for him, what it's going to
yeah,
do for your players that are in the wings are not going to get footy,
yeah,
and all of a sudden for 1 year, like you're going to create a bit of an issue with culture. Like it just doesn't
yeah.
make any sense to me. Like It's not a logical
Yeah.
maneuver, as I said, unless you think that he's genuinely going to uplift you
Oh,
into a competitive position for winning a comp.
yeah. And like you're saying, that's taken a spot away from a reserve grade player or a juniors player
It's
that
not
could
even
be
a
coming
reserve
through the
grade
ranks
player.
that could
Like
be
if
shining.
you don't sign Pezzett, who's your 5'8" next year?
I don't know. Hayes Dunster. Oh no, he's gone. Um, I guess what's his name? The guy that played there this year.
Joash Papali'i.
Yeah. No, him or the little halfback that was filling in for the other one when Dylan Brown and Moses both
You're
went
the
there.
Eels fan. You tell me.
I don't know. They're all young guys now. I know. I reckon I could name the team from about 3 years ago, but they're all young and we're in a rebuild. So
Geez, that's a
they're
fair weather
always
fan if
chopping
I've
and
ever heard
changing.
one.
I mean, I've been through all the hard times with Para since I was about 12.
All
So
the hard times. They go
I
back to
can't be.
1986.
Yeah, but I wasn't alive
You
in
missed 15 years of
1986.
them. 20 years of
Yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah. I know. But I've had to go through the heartbreak of a grand final loss, and I don't like that. So
Mate, we've all been there. So
yeah, I just
you
hope they
missed
win
some
one in
too.
my
You missed that
lifetime.
one. Just be glad you missed the one in 2001.
Yeah.
That would have been rough in Newcastle.
Well, my dad doesn't stop talking about that one in 2009. He went to both of them, and he was heartbroken. He's been to the last three in the last 21st century, and he's lost all three of them when he's gone. So maybe it's a sign. Maybe next time we're in a grand final, my dad shouldn't go. Maybe that's the missing piece.
Yeah. So I think the guy you're thinking of, I was having a bit of a think just then while you were talking, Dean Hawkins.
Yes, that was him. Yes,
Yeah, see,
something
I
reminds
still
me.
see him as a fringe player. I think like a Papali'i sort of players probably or a Volkman are probably the ones that are on the pathway. Younger players. Volkman's what 20, Papali'i's 20. Dean
Mm.
Hawkins, I know he's only 25, but he's sort of been around. He was at Souths before. But even then, like all these players, like one of them would have had their eyes on this jersey and probably had that conversation, and now they're going to be sitting there playing, New South Wales Cup or coming off the bench,
Yeah,
and it just as I said, like where does it reshuffle everyone to? What does it look like? I just feel that it's going
yeah.
to put pressure on that doesn't need to be there as the Aussies are trying to turn it back on
This
here.
is stressful. We've had. Oh my goodness! What a tackle! It was a lovely tackle. Heavy farm worth. Jesus. Let's say Australia's going to get a fresh set of six here
Yeah, it's
from
battered
it
down, so
being
they
a bit
got
of a
plenty of
headlock
time.
tackle,
28 gone, still 6-0.
and they've called a knock on. So Australia
Yeah, it was a
have
knock
lost the
on.
ball.
Crichton absolutely just spilt that then. Spilled his lollies
Yeah,
with 5 tackles up his
flush in the
sleeve.
face. Bit of a falcon. It was a nice pass actually.
Yeah, off his
Just couldn't
nose,
quite
then
hold
off
on
his
to it.
hand.
Yeah, but we all know forwards can't really catch, so doesn't matter.
Oh, geez, that's a bit rough, mate.
Are you you're
Don't know if I'd
forward
be
now?
saying
I
that. Don't know if
guess
I'd
is
be saying
that?
that to Angus Crichton's face.
Oh, obviously not. I'm not that kind of guy.
What about Shibasaki? What a story he is. What do we come? We come back for the scrum. Shibasaki, what a story that is. Could barely make the night side,
Yeah,
and now look at him, Origin, playing for
yeah.
Australia.
Goes and wins the grand final.
It's been a good year.
It certainly has. Yeah, this will be one of his favourite years, I reckon, in rugby league at least.
Yeah, well,
He'll be
certainly
looking
so
to cap
far.
it off with an Ashes Series win.
Oh, way to
Is it
go.
three or five
The
tests
English
that
are
we've
fired
played?
up for it. I did love seeing some of that stuff from their coaching staff and what it meant to them in the build up. Didn't really like Aaron Woods doing his drive by on them and mocking
Oh
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He's been doing a lot of that, Aaron Woods, to a lot of players.
Yeah, well, it's turning into a shock jock rather than a football analyst,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
yeah, yeah. And then he comes back at him in one way or another, and that's just karma. You're getting karma the hard way.
Yeah, well, we'll see. But I'll tell you what, this game is not probably playing out the way
A lot
I
of
expected. I thought we'd see a few more points,
no,
especially on a dry track.
yeah, a lot of running. Here go England. Oh, Reece Walsh, try saver. That's sixth again now for England, but that was a try saver.
Yeah, he just
It
managed to
might it
knock it
might come
down,
up
did well.
a bit late on your screen there, Chris. You've got it, but fresh set for England here. So this could be the turning point. They could get a try here, England.
I certainly might. We'll see if they can get
If
it
the,
back level.
if they don't get it on this set, we're going to look back at that Reece Walsh moment and say that was the moment that stopped England getting a try on this set,
Get some
and
good
especially
good
on the
movement at
last
the
set.
line, finding outside shoulders.
Good tackle. Josh Adokar, lovely tackle.
Has done well, hasn't he? Look at that.
Mm,
Just shutting down. They had the overlap England too.
yeah. A lot of running on last play, like I mentioned before kickoff. I thought there would be a lot of running on last play footy, especially from England, and there has been a little bit of it. Saw it on that last set there previously,
I'm not
and
sure it
it
was a
almost
great
led to a
decision to do
try.
it, but it's a
Yeah,
bit sloppy
sneaky
here.
offload from the ninth second. Well, they've gone backwards a long way here, England. This is not a great set for them. Where's this kick going to go? Little chip kick, and O'Carr, easy tack. Good tackle from Dom Young. He really put some kick pressure on him and Herbie Farnworth, but nice take. Cool, calm, and collected the Fox. This is good
Yeah,
defensive momentum from England here. They've really stepped up in
Australia got to
defence
work it
on
out of
this
their
set
own
after
end
the
here.
first couple of
So
tackles.
see how they
What do
can
you
go.
think, Chris, has been? There might not have been too many for England, but maybe one of the biggest standout moments so far in this opening half an hour for them.
I don't think there's really been outside of the try for either side. There hasn't been a lot really to stand out. It's been, as I said,
Yeah,
both sides playing through the middle. Probably
I
a bit of
love
a
it.
turning point moment was that captain's challenge for Australia.
Yeah,
A lot of mistakes from both sides, just sloppy handling, just pushing extra passes. Every man and his dog seeming to want to put on flick passes.
yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if that forward, if we had an Australian ref, I wouldn't be surprised if that forward pass wasn't called forward. By all the forward passes we saw in the NRL this year that weren't called, oh, I wouldn't have been surprised to be honest. Anyway, we've got an English ref, so this guy knows what he's doing, at least in the Super League rules of the game. England might be able to snag one before half time here and try and get back on level pegging. If any time to get a try, this is the time they'd want to do it, at least for this first half, closing in on half time.
Oh, 7 or so remaining till the break. Make sure if you haven't already, if you're tuning in, hit subscribe down below. Hit the bell as well. You get notifications when we've got the watch-alongs coming up and when we're dropping our daily dose episodes as well. Plenty of watch-alongs coming up in the next week or so.
Do you think England take the two off this penalty here, Chris, and try and get some points and slog a bit of momentum when they go for
Oh, look,
the? They've
I
obviously
wouldn't
they've
if
gone
I
for
was
the cap,
them. They
but
haven't been down in the red zone a lot. Haven't had the
yeah,
opportunity, and I think that's a concession almost if they do that. And
yeah,
yeah, use the ball in hand. It's a nice dry track. It was heavy conditions, trying to get within under a converted try maybe, but good to see they've got Litton out there now, just trying to spark the team a little bit.
good tackle, good defence from Australia. Carrigan in there, lovely tackle. Munster as well. They don't
Harry
really look
Grant,
like
they
they
got a
have
little
anything
start.
going here, England. They sort of just started stepping around one off the ruck. They don't really, doesn't look like they have any set plays really going. I mean, here goes one now. A little kick. Cleary taps it out the back. Beautiful work, Nathan Cleary. But yeah, like I said, it doesn't really look like England have too much going, especially in their red zone set. It's not like they've had
I
much
think,
time up there, but
yeah, I think
they
the
don't look like they're
challenge
doing
might
too
be
much.
that those edge second rowers have only had a very short period of time to get reacquainted with their halves, etc., which is going to shut down the shape of attack because they're used to playing in the NRL. They're playing different sort of footy.
Yeah.
But it'll be a goal line dropout, so another chance for England to attack the line here.
Can they take it from after the line in English Rugby League? Nathan Cleary was standing in front of the line there.
He can stand in front of the line, but he's got
No,
to
they're
take
going
it
to.
from on the line. He's just trying to go sideways and
Yeah,
go
right.
short. That's the thing.
Oh, Australia get the ball here. They're saying England knock on. That's just
England might challenge this,
nine
I
times
reckon.
out of ten. 9 times out of 10, that short dropout doesn't work. But in Australia's favour, it did. Yeah, it did go forward, and the player was offside anyway. He's in front of in front of the winger. But that's a letdown for England. They look like they had a little bit building there, but Australia get let off the hook. They've had some solid defence, Australia, so they've been
Yeah,
working really hard to try and
like you
defend
said,
this 6 point
like you
lead.
said just before, mate. Though they haven't really fired many shots, have they? The English, so
No,
they've had a couple of sets down there, but
yeah, they haven't really done too much, England. They've had it pretty crazy, Australia,
Lindsay
so
Collins looking
far.
like the walking wounded with all that tape on his head. I mean this with all due respect to Lindsay. He
He's
wasn't
a
the prettiest
soldier.
bloke to start with.
No, but he's an absolute soldier on the footy field. He'll give it 110% for anyone. No matter who he's playing for, he'll always defend his teammates.
Aussies
He's the
80 metres
enforcer
to
that
go to
Australia
try and get a
need.
second try of the half.
If Australia, do you think, Chris, if they get into maybe the 20 or the 30 of England line and there's a minute or two to go, do you think they take a field goal, push it out to 7?
Yeah, potentially. I mean, we're inside the last 4 minutes. I think it'd just be if there was nothing else on. I think if anything else possibly presents, they run shape. But
Yeah,
especially when you've got the attacking threats they do with that spine.
yeah,
At the moment, they've got to get out of their own half, really.
yeah. They're getting out slowly. Harry Grant from dummy half, good run, getting into the England 30 or England 40 there, 30 odd away. Little chip kick from Munster. Oh, Falcon off Dom Young.
Plenty of Falcons
Oh, what a
today.
flick pass from Reece Walsh.
I think it came off his
Angus Crichton
shoulder. I'm
goes
not
in,
sure it came
but
off
I
his
don't know.
head.
That flick pass
That's
looked questionable.
that looked a mile forward from Reece Walsh.
Yeah, it did. It looked very questionable. Well, that referee looks just like Clint Gutherson.
What are you
I
on
think he
about?
looks just like Clint Gutherson. He looks just like him.
No,
He
you're just
does.
missing Gutho ever since he left your eels and got off that
I
one
mean, you're not
sinking
wrong.
ship onto another
You're
one.
not wrong. Yeah, you're not wrong. But I think he looks a bit like him.
I wonder what they're looking at here because again, I don't think they can judge on forward pass. You see, Munster chips through and comes off the shoulder of Dom Young. Everyone's on side.
Is it because he? Oh, did he pick it up in front of where it hit Young maybe?
That doesn't
Were
matter.
they checking?
I think they're checking whether Addo Carter will get Young's legs.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Well, they were both looking for the footy. It
Yeah, but
didn't really look
did he
intentional
contest the
from
football is
Adokar.
the question.
Yeah, he didn't really jump, did he? He sort of just sat on the ground and watched.
Yeah, he kind of
Here we
braced
go.
himself a little bit there. This could
No
go either
try.
way.
No try.
Yeah,
I
there we
hate
go.
to spoil it to you, but no try.
So stays at 6-0. I think they got that one right.
Yeah. So England will get a penalty opportunity here. And this might be the moment they need. Get it downfield, get it to the
Looks like
40,
Isaiah
maybe
Yo. I haven't seen
halfway.
anything officially, and obviously not having the commentary on. Looks like Isaiah Yo hasn't been back out there, so he must be done for the day.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I have got the commentary on, but I've been sort of listening to more of what we're saying. But yeah, I reckon he might be finished. His night might be done, or his day over in England might be done. Going to
Yeah,
some sightseeing.
it'll be interesting to see. That might mean he's out of the next test as well. So looked like Harry
Yeah,
Grant took over the
yeah,
captaincy there, going and having a chat with the referee.
yeah. Here come England, bit of momentum. Oh, that looked forward. That looked very forward. The kick, too deep, too
Pass
deep.
was
The
good, but
pass
yeah,
looked a
as
bit
you
forward.
say, I'm happy with the pass, but just a little bit too much on it off the left boot.
Yeah.
It's the
Well,
right
wingers don't normally
idea, but
kick,
he just
but
needed it to pull up a bit, Tom Johnston.
yeah. Good chase, though, from the England fullback and the England halfback as well. Good read as well from the winger to put a nice stab kick in like that, but it just a bit heavy. And this could, if Australia take their time on this set, England will possibly
I think they'll get a set each
England
here,
might have the
so
last set. Yeah,
yeah, still 2 minutes to
yeah,
go.
yeah. Australia will be trying to take as much time off the clock as they can, where England will be looking to get down the field in as much of a faster manner. Minute and a half to go in this first half. Australia 6, England 0. Cleary just scrambles around, didn't know what to do. Oh, big bump.
Australia
Pat
looking to have
Carrigan.
lost their way a little bit now late.
Lovely,
It's
good
just
football there.
trying to scramble.
Say you get a penalty, you'd be crazy to not take the two in
Yeah, I
this
think surely you
situation.
take
Want
the
some
two.
time off the clock,
I'm looking for the
push it
sin
out
bin
to an
here, but
eight-point lead.
Reece
No,
Walsh
no
wanted to take
sin
the
bin.
quick tap. I don't think he was thinking that through very well.
No,
Will be
no, but
30 out.
yeah, they're going to take the two.
30 out. Centre
This
field,
should
take the two.
pretty much take us into half time. We might have possibly one kick of the ball off the tee and then maybe one tackle, but
Yeah.
they should pretty much carry us into half time. They'll take as much time off the clock as they can, the Aussies. Beautiful day over there, looking like in England. The sun shining down over beautiful Wembley Stadium.
Yeah, definitely not
Lovely,
traditional
lovely
English
stadium.
weather, is it?
No, no, you always say overcast, gloomy, rainy weather, but
I will say
this is what
though,
you want.
Jay, don't let the sunshine fool you. I believe it's about 10 or 11 degrees.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're getting into their winter over there, so you'd believe that, but yeah,
I'll just be happy to see the sun.
yeah, that's it. Get a slight tan on with all their pale skin. Nathan Cleary, pretty much 3 seconds to go. So if I'm correct, the clock will tick over once he kicks this, and Australia should push it out to an 8-point lead.
I wonder if Big Nath will be catching some Man City women's games while he's over there.
Yeah, possibly he's nailed it, and that'll be half time, and Australia lead 8-0. Yeah, he might. I mean, day or two off, he might go and see his partner and go and see Manchester City women's game, but
Yeah, well,
you'd be
anyway,
crazy to
that
not go to a Premier League.
that closes out our first half. So at 8-0, it's certainly far from pretty, but the Aussies have got it in their own grasp. They've got control of this, you feel. The English haven't really fired a shot. Isaiah Yeo out of action for the remainder of the game, but the Aussies fight on with 16 men. They lead 8-0 at the break. We'll take a 5-minute break. We'll rejoin you with the second half from the Chris McPherson show very shortly. But for now, it is the Aussies leading 8-0 in the first Ashes test from Wembley.
too easy.
We're back and rocking and rolling ahead of the second half here between Australia and England from Wembley. Our live watch along and reactions. The Aussies lead 8-0 at half time. I've got Jay Jordan with me, and Jay, not a lot of highlights in that first half, but what was your key takeaway?
Oh, the key takeaway, it'd have to be the try, wouldn't it? I mean, Australia jump out to a 6-point lead off Reece Walsh, and it was a beautiful little setup play from Australia that they had. But there's been a lot of chances for Australia. They've had a good look of opportunities in that first half where you go and look at England, and they haven't really had anything. They had something really late in the first half with the kick, and it was just a bit heavy. But yeah, they haven't had too much going them. Where Australia obviously had that try, and yeah, like you said, that would be the standout to be looking out for.
Well, we'll wait and see what comes from here. But Reece Walsh, as you said, he has been the headline act. He's been involved in literally, well, not quite literally, but almost literally everything. He did the lead up play that saw Mark Nwanga Ntawazi get free down that right hand flank, and then the ball came back to him to score the try. He was the man involved in the key captain's challenge. He's been involved in some last lines of defence, and he's taken to that number one green and gold jersey with aplomb as we get underway for our second half here. With the Aussies getting it, the kickoff started, and the shadows really starting to creep across Wembley. I feel like it'd be pretty fresh in those stands. And we are talking about just before, Jay. I had a look just a moment ago. The temperature in London is 10 degrees. In those shadows, it'd be getting even fresher with a bit of a breeze probably coming through, I reckon.
Oh, it'd be nice and cold over there. You'd be frosting your tips off, but you'd want to be sitting in the sun as much as you can up in that top stand. But yeah, it'd be nice and cold. I bet the boys coming back out from the sheds, they'd be feeling that breeze no matter how much sweaty and hotness they would have been running out for. They would have certainly felt it. But those English boys, they maybe not the ones from the NRL. They might be not so used to it, but some of those Super League boys would definitely be used to that nice cold weather.
Yeah, well, it's an interesting one because obviously they play through the
He goes
summer, and
Walsh.
Reece Walsh is just slicing through everyone here.
Reece Walsh just running through the whole team. He's got players on the inside. Oh,
Herbie
what a
Farnworth
tackle.
with the ankle tap.
Herbie Farnworth ankle tap. Yeah,
Saved a
that's a
certain
try
try there. I
saver.
thought Josh Adokar would have been away and shut the gate. He's not quite as quick as he used to be, the
Oh,
Fox.
yeah. No. Munster's found space.
Drag
Australia,
jam.
this
Five
is,
years
you didn't see
Paul.
this in the first half.
Knights fans would be loving seeing these
No.
night these. I mean, he's an ex-Knights player
Yeah.
now, so
Yeah, you didn't see this in the first half. You didn't see a minute and a half in Australia on the doorstep of England already knocking on the door asking for a try.
yeah.
Beautiful flick pass from
What's that?
Tom Dearden. Also, that was Hudson Young. Gives it back. Oh, he's held up.
He is held up. I was going to say Kai Pearce Paul. They might have
Good
some
defence
West
there from
Tigers
England.
fans excited, mate, because he's signed with them for next year, hasn't he?
Mm. Yeah, he has, and he's been playing good footy in this game so far, and this is certainly a higher level than playing in the NRL. So yeah, they have something to look forward to, those Tigers fans.
He's looked likely, that's for certain, at different points for the Knights, but never quite clicked as the flowing locks of Ruben
Yeah,
Cotter carts it up. They're in the red zone here on tackle 5.
looking promising Australia this set.
Context in the
Oh, that
corner.
is quality, but he didn't get it
They
down,
spilled
and
it.
England have got the ball back.
They've gotten away with it, and they dodged a bullet.
To be honest, if you're England there, you'd rather Australia just knock that on than
Well, he
pick it
did. He
up
did
and
knock
have
it
it
on.
1 metre away from your line. Oh,
He
he
did
did,
knock it on.
sorry.
Yeah. So okay,
Oh,
I think three of them all
mm,
knocked it on. We're talking during the half
yeah,
time break, Jay. It's
go on,
been a
Dave, go
good
on.
sort of 12 hours for Aussie sports. Mostly the Aussie men's cricket team lost a dead rubber. They'd already won the one day series. The women
Yeah.
dominated South Africa in the World Cup. Alana King 7 for 18, I think it was, off 7 overs in a one day. This South Africa is sitting second in the pool stage. Australia are first, so this is essentially the top two performed teams so far in this World Cup. And she's just basically bowled out the whole team herself. How good's that? It's like the female Warney.
Yeah, that's just class. You don't see that every day in men's cricket, let alone women's cricket. That is just quality. 7 for 18. I mean, you'd get that in, you'd split that into two innings in most games of cricket, but you see it in one and you just go, wow, that's something special. And hopefully we can see more of that from the Aussie women's team in future games.
Yeah, well, I'll be into the semis now. I think they play India in the semi-finals, so we'll wait and watch and see how that all plays out. And then we had
It'll be a
the
thriller, that one.
Wallabies. It wasn't pretty getting it done against Japan, 19-15, and the Matildas are on at the moment as well. So it's a good time to be an Aussie sports fan tonight. Plenty of action, that's for sure. Which that's what we love.
Yeah, yeah, that is
Excuse me.
about sports. All right, maybe the game might settle down a bit here, but it's fresh, and I guess it's exciting start, opening 4 minutes of the second half.
Yeah, I think this is
Oh,
where
Pat Cat.
the
Oh,
skill
who's that?
should,
Ruben Cotter.
the individual skill should start to come to the fore, right? Where you've got these players, players start to get fatigued. It's that muscle memory, the punch against tired bodies, and you'll just start to find a few more half breaks maybe in this. Once we get through the first few minutes of this second half, the Aussies are really trying to turn up the pressure. It looks like.
Yeah, they'd love to jump out to a 14-point lead and stay there for my prediction. Oh, look at this. Angus Crichton. He's got support
Doesn't
everywhere.
need it.
He
Doesn't
goes
need it.
himself with a big second rower.
What about that? He just straight stood up a
That is
bloke and
just
just ran past him.
that is poor defence from England. I know that sounds really harsh, but that is just poor defence.
He's been
Letting
sent
him walk through
upstairs looking
like
for
that.
confirmation. He said try though. Not sure what we're looking at here because it looked like Angus Crichton just strolled through Sydney Harbour Heads.
You'd never see that in the NRL. You'd never. He probably wouldn't even feel confident in the NRL to go and do that.
I think you are dreaming a little that you wouldn't say that in the NRL. You see things like that.
That's a
Oh,
try.
yeah, he's got it down.
Nah,
I
that's a
think
try.
you do see missed tackles like that in the NRL.
Yeah, yeah, but I just don't think you'd see Angus Crichton that confident to go and run 20 odd meters and try and score a try by himself.
Oh, well, mate, he didn't have any options. I tell you what, they're looking at the replays. There's a random South fan in the background. Of course there is.
There's
There,
always one.
there's
Everywhere you go,
always
there's
one.
always one for anything.
Mate, there's one at the Newcastle Jets game last weekend.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not surprised. There's probably going to be one at all those Australian games you talked about.
Try Angus Crichton,
All
12
right.
nil. They lead with a kick to come. But yeah, that was just individual work. It was, as you say, ably aided by inept defence. You just watch it here. Just get some early ball from Munster, then just goes back against the grain. One of the big bodies from the English, he just got stuck in the mud.
Yeah, didn't know where to go.
Not quite sure who it was. Here we go. It was Walmsley, Alex Walmsley. He's a big boy, but that's where they get found out. The lateral movement of Crichton
Yeah,
just sliding back against the grain. He was trying to take the shortcut and slide out. Crichton then just outpaced the fullback. He had the outside
yeah.
line and away he went. So 12-0 the kick to come, and your 14 points might be on the money. It might blow out past that
Well,
because
your 10 points is done. But if Clear kicks this and Australia don't score any more points, then I'll be very happy.
I think
And England don't score
with
any more points.
34 minutes
But
to go. I think
yeah,
you're clutching
yeah,
at
I
some
don't
straws,
like my
mate. But maybe
chances.
the Poms will get one back and it'll be 14-4.
Yeah. He's got a bit of a cut across his face there, Nathan Cleary. Do you know what happened? Was that from this game? Or is that
Looks like it's
from
pretty fresh.
something
Like
previous?
I don't know if it's a cut or whether he's just got some claret out of the nose
Yeah.
from when he got
Yeah,
jammed
I don't
earlier.
know.
So 14-0.
Well, it goes up the side of his cheek as well, or up the side there.
Yeah, I think it might just be some blood that's been smeared from his nose. He just wandered
Yeah,
through there, didn't he?
he sure did. He just walked through like a
Great.
goat walking through the pasture. Just made it look so easy.
That's the other thing to note here. These in goals are so short.
Yeah, well,
But
they're all soccer fields. Am I not wrong? But yeah, you see the one at Old Trafford. It's like
oh, it is tiny. Yeah,
it's ridiculously close to the
I remember
the
seeing
sponsorship LEDs there.
I remember seeing one of the Morris brothers a couple of years ago go sliding into those, just trying to pull up, and he just couldn't.
Yeah,
So
that's all over the internet. That's been around for a fair bit. Yeah, that's probably the one ground where you don't want to make a sprinting effort to try and score a try.
yeah, you're not going to be
Through a
going and
kick.
doing the Mark Gasnier.
Oh, what a tackle!
That's a
Lovely
Kai
tackle.
Pierce
Piss
Paul. That's
Paul,
good,
it
isn't
was.
it? Harry
Yeah,
Grant gets
quality.
upended.
That looks like the Tigers fans.
The former West Tiger getting upended by the
Kick.
future West Tiger.
Beautiful kick for Munster. Nice deep kick. Good
Down some
chase from the
grass.
Australians as well. Oh, he's knocked it on.
And
No, they've
mistake.
said
No,
play
six
back sticks
more. The Aussies
again
have
for
knocked it
England.
down. Play on.
I think we might be on a similar time now, Chris, to the first half.
Yeah,
I
I think
think
we're
we're a
back
bit
into
closer
a
in
bit better
time.
alignment now.
Yeah.
It was Hudson Young. He just couldn't quite dive on it.
If you're the England coach here, Chris, and say the game ends here, would you or what changes, if any, would you be making to this England team for the next game?
Oh, I think I want to see what comes for the next 30 minutes, but I'd be sending the message out at the moment, mate, just to say we need to start, finding opportunity, get the forwards going forward, and start chancing our hand a bit of second phase play. Exactly what's happened there. George Williams getting John Bateman. They've got really good edge second rowers. They've got some good mongrel and good go about them, and they just need to get that happening. A bit of ball
Here they
movement.
go.
Here we go. This is looking more promising from them, and that's it's like
They
they can hear me.
probably could have used the centre and the winger there. Yeah.
I just think the
They probably
defense
could have
read it
used the
too well to got
centre
up
and the
for it.
winger. They didn't have to take that run by himself. Yeah. Good offload. Here come England. Here goes Dom Young, the speedster.
It's another
Oh,
Falcon.
he's thrown it into the face of Reece Walsh. So will that be an English ball because it's come off Reece Walsh, or is that not going to be?
I
I'm
can't
not sure
believe I've
how
got to
that's
explain
gonna
the
how
laws
they're
of
gonna
rugby
call
league
that.
at this point. What Reece Walsh has not knocked it on. It's a forward pass.
Well, I understand, but I mean, a forward pass that flashed him flush in the face.
Yeah, but how does that give England the ball?
Well, it went out off Reece
Yeah, but
Walsh.
what's the first infringement?
Yeah, I mean
Forward
forward pass,
pass.
but
That's what we always come back to.
yeah.
Of course, if you're just tuning in, make sure you hit
My
subscribe down below so you get notifications for our future watch along. We might try and come back for the second and third test later this series. We've got some cricket ones. We've had the NBL as well. Our daily dose is dropping as well. There'll be another daily dose dropping in the morning. Had one a little earlier today with a recap of the Wallabies win over Japan. And you can catch our social media at the Chris Mack Show on all your favourite social media platforms: X, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
Not sure, Chris, if you ever really cover baseball, but or if anyone listening or yourself really watches it. But the World
World Series,
Series started this morning,
Blue
and
Jays.
my team, Toronto Blue Jays, jumped out to a nice win over the Dodgers, 11-4.
What about
So
some of
for
the
anyone
numbers that were put up in the championship series by Otani?
oh mate, he's an absolute freak. He's the Nathan Cleary of the MLB.
Mate,
He can do
that
it
is the
all.
biggest compliment
Pitches,
anyone's
bat,
ever given Nathan Cleary. That
yeah,
if
yeah, you're not
Shohei
wrong.
Otani played rugby league, he'd be a halfback and a front row at the same time.
Yeah, he would. He'd just be a utility. He'd do everything.
Yeah. So, because what were the numbers? I'm going to try and bring this up.
Well, he's already hit a home run in the World Series already, so that just shows how much of a freak he is. You can just go out there in the biggest series in baseball and just smack a home run like it's nothing. It was a single home run. There was no one on base, but
Yeah.
he does it so easily, so
I
comfortably.
think to put it in perspective for people that aren't baseball fans, is that a 40-20?
Oh, it is too. It is.
There you go. That
Lovely
Litton's
kick
kicked
from
that.
Litton.
We might come back to the Shohei
That
Otani
might
chat in a moment.
that might be some momentum that England need here.
Certainly is. That could be the spark. He's done well. Got it at dummy half. He's kicked it from 36 out, and he's found touch
That was
20,
beautiful.
19.9 meters out.
Yeah,
So England now on the attack. What can they come up with here? They
they
need to get
needed
some
they
shape off
need a
Williams.
draw here. If they don't score here, they're in. I mean, there's still a long way to
No,
go,
there's a
but if
long
they
way to
don't
go.
score here, then
Don't be calling things off just yet.
oh yeah,
Farnworth off
they'd love a
Williams. It
try
looks
here.
the
This is
danger. Can they get some
yeah.
shape back to the left and come back and strike again on this edge here? That was a pretty lackluster attempt at a settler.
Yeah.
Williams, come on. What's he doing? Just decides to run
Oh,
it
knock
himself
on.
and
He's
drops
dropped
it.
it.
Dear,
And
oh
Reece
dear.
Walsh sprints
Reece Walsh has
away.
beaten two, beaten three.
He's tripped over.
He's hurt himself, I think.
Oh,
Has he hurt
Bateman has
himself?
just slammed into him. Oh no, that's not good. Oh, now he's looking at his neck. I mean, he did get slammed into by John Bateman, but
Yeah, but he just pulled
it
up. He
looked like
pulled
he
up
hurt
awkwardly
himself
before
before
that. I
he
was a bit
even
worried
got
about,
hit
but
by Bateman. Yeah, when he fell over.
we'll see what
But it
comes
didn't
of it.
look
Anyway,
it didn't look too sudden. Like it didn't sort of seem like a cramp or anything. He sort of slid down into it, sort of like a soccer tackle.
He just collapsed a
Like
little bit. I was a bit worried it might have been his
yeah,
hammy that might have gone the way he sort of pulled up so
yeah.
instantly. Maybe he just lost his footing. He seems okay-ish in back plays. Cleary decides to take a hit up, and they're getting away with a bit in the ruck both sides here. The English interpretations. Munster's dragged to ground.
Little
Hey,
chip kick. Hey Grant. Ooh,
just batted dead.
good attack
We
there from Australia.
might go back to that little baseball chat while we're waiting for the goal line dropout. So to put it in perspective for people that aren't baseball fans that are watching, players are normally home run hitters and they'll field, on one of the bases, they'll just do a job or they'll just be designated hitters for some of the specialist stars. And then you've got pitchers. Shohei Ohtani does both. And in the um, National League Championship Series, he led them to a 5-1 victory in Game 4. He hit 3 home runs and struck out 10 batters. That's a dreadful dropout, but somehow it's paid off for them. Dom Young was just standing there and it's bounced up for him. But yeah, so he's had, they're like Clive Churchill medal winning performances with,
Yeah,
it'd be like being a test cricketer and scoring 200 and then bowling out 10, not taking
yeah,
9 wickets on the other side as well.
yeah, yeah.
Here we go. Bit of argy bargy. Some passion starting to boil over.
Bit of niggle.
What are we going to have here? The referee looks like he's amused. We got Farnworth and Munster. They
He
collided.
wrapped his
Munster
arm
up
around
around
there.
the neck a little
Munster.
bit.
Nothing really in it, but just showing that bit of rivalry
Farnworth,
that you see
yeah,
between
Farnworth didn't like it though, did
Australia
he?
and England. No, not at all. Right up in his face. Probably a few words that we can't say on air, but
We can say whatever we want on air, mate. What are you
yeah,
talking
he
about?
didn't like that.
This is our show.
What if there's kids listening, Chris? Come on.
They should be in bed. It's 10 to 2 in the morning. That's mayhem. We should be in bed,
Yeah,
realistically. Play the game at a reasonable hour. I'm an old man.
yeah, yeah.
You didn't have to agree with that so wholeheartedly, but anyway.
Oh, well, wasn't really agreeing with that bit. I was agreeing with all the rest, mate.
Oh, dear. Anyway, they're on the attack
Here
around the
they come.
outside
Bit of
here. They're starting
momentum.
to use the ball,
Oh, good
England.
tackle. Good tackle. Stags.
I'm
Tell you what,
liking the ball movement from the English.
he hasn't been quiet, Stags, but he hasn't been bad. He hasn't been good. He's sort of been in the middle. He's got the ball a fair bit. If he correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he's got a try assist in this game. But you normally see him do a bit more in the
I
NRL.
think I
But
think if we had the stats man from League Castle on, he'd probably say it was more of a try contribution than a try assist. But yeah, he had
yeah,
a try involvement. We'll go with
yeah,
that. That's a bit easier.
yeah, yeah. That's a good word. That's a
Josh
good saying to use.
carting it into essentially the whole back row of the English team there. All right, so you've said 14 points. You're sticking with 14 with 25 to go.
Yeah, I'm not going to swap. I'm not like that. I don't swap if I. Yeah, I'll stay with 14.
At the
Are
end
you
of the
going
day,
to
if you
swap
get
from
updated
10?
data, you take updated data. I'm not saying you need to, change teams or anything, but
Nah.
so
Are
you
you going
still,
to
so
swap
you,
from
so
10?
are you saying from here we see no more points, or are you going like a try each?
I'm not
What are we going to
saying
see?
no. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just going to stick with my decision of 14 points. But
Well, hang
I
on, no,
think
no.
we might see
I'm
Australia.
asking you, what's the full time margin going to finish at? Like, I know your
Oh,
initial.
okay. All right. So yeah. Um. Ooh. I think Australia might push their lead out to. Ooh. They might get to 26, and England might get to 10. So maybe 16 points. Maybe
So not
20.
much of a change, really.
Not really. No, I can
No,
see Australia scoring a couple of tries. England
Tommy
might get
Dearden's
one or
on.
two.
They're in the red zone now, so
Sixth
might go to the
again.
action. That's a
Australia gets
six.
sixth again.
So there's 6 more. Dom Young
For
just
ruck
hugging
infringement.
Josh Addo-Carr like his life depended on it.
Beautiful ball. Cleary. Oh my
Just coughed it
goodness.
up.
You'd never ever thought you'd see Nathan Cleary do that. That is a shocking forward pass.
They've all got it in them. So we've got a few of the bench on now. We've got Kolomatangi.
Just shows that
This will be
even good
Kolomatangi's
players make
debut for
mistakes.
Australia.
Is it?
I'm just wondering. I can't recall him playing.
Yeah, me neither. Well, if it is, then good on him. But
Oh no, he has. He's played three.
yeah, yeah.
Oh no, he played three
Would
tests for
they have
Tonga. He
been?
played three tests for Tonga.
Ah, yeah. Well, it's his debut for Australia then.
It is his debut for Australia. Yep.
What is he playing lock?
I think he just playing front row.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. So yeah, he's out there now. That looked like Tino. Him and Tino have got the same sort of hair and the same sort of build. Big long name on the jersey as well. So the numbers sort
They
of the only
certainly
thing
do.
that I
Yeah, you
can
just got to look for the
define them
number, right?
by.
That's your
Yeah,
only
that's
giveaway. I
it.
suppose that's why they got numbers on their jerseys. That helps us,
Yeah.
especially with my eyesight.
Oh, good tackle, Cleary. Good charge up.
Oh, good. Cotter did well low there.
Mm-hmm. Here come England. Go to the right hand side. Good defence here from Australia. They've had good defence all game, even on their goal line. They've had really quality defence, and that's certainly a reason why so far they've got England on Australia.
Colin Tongue, you got to be careful there. He nearly ended up with a bit of a crush emotion. Pulled out at the last moment. Clearing kick.
Can't see in that sun. The one they need to Wase.
Yeah,
Took it
there's one
well
of the
though.
only patches left, but interesting.
Yeah,
Daryl Clark still off. They took him off after about 25 minutes, and I don't know whether they'll bring him back on and maybe keep Litton on and just try and go a bit more mobile. Alex Walmsley's gone back off after letting in that try. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see him again.
yeah,
That's a good run from Colin Matangi. Almost got back
yeah.
around to his front.
Do you think Mitchell Moses and a few of the Australian reserves will get a game? Oh, Joshua Carr's made a meal of that.
Um, I would think if it's game three and it's a dead rubber, we might see maybe like Strange and Moses come in.
Yeah,
A couple of those guys. So
yeah.
just some slippery handling, just pushing the passes. I don't think they need to do that at the moment.
They just can't get frustrated, Australia. So they've got 20 minutes to go. Their lead is 14, so they can concede a try or two, but they just can't get frustrated. They've got to stay in the moment.
I
It's only
really
game
think
one.
if I'm Kevin Walters, my message out there is do not concede. I don't care what else happens. Do not concede.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
100%.
that's our goal from here for 20 minutes remaining.
Yeah. Well, they've done a good job, regardless of whether that was the goal or not, to not concede so far. So it doesn't sound like much for us, but I'm sure for them, 20 minutes will be a pretty long time. And for England, that time will tick off real quick. Oh, that was a very flat pass. All right, officially 20 minutes to go and a six again for England. This could be the time they might get something going here. We say that every time they come in with a fresh set, they never really make anything of it. But good
No,
tackle,
just
Munster.
the Australians just grinding up and hustling in defence. So seeing what they can come with. But again, as soon as they get towards that red zone, they just look panicked and
Yeah. Oh, good ball. He tried to play it out. Piss ball. Had no one really there. Good block play. They go out the back. They still don't know what to do. They,
Farnworth looks like he's half a chance. But I think, as I said, I think I said it last time they're down in the red zone. They need to find something with Williams and Farnworth,
yeah.
and maybe just combining with Bateman there. That edge has to be where they find it. I think. Just hitting hoping here.
Along
Oh,
to
that's a
us,
good
eh?
pick up from Marky Mark off his
Picked it up
toes.
beautifully.
Just popped it up for himself, mate. Might be a spot in the Harlem Globetrotters for him with those sorts of moves. Look at this. Boom.
Oh,
Just
beauty.
thanks for coming. And away he goes on the run.
Sign him up for an EPL team after that touch.
Yeah, I'm not sure they'd really appreciate him chipping it up into his own hands in the EPL. Maybe some Gaelic football.
Yeah, there's some Gaelic football. That's not a bad shout.
Yeah, if you're just
That's a
tuning
sport that
in,
I've
make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. Okay, as David when we're doing all of our watch-alongs going forward. Get involved in the comments too. Let us know who has been your man of the match so far if you're tuning in. Let us know where you're tuning in
that's
from
uh
as well. If you're silly
that's a
as
sport
us,
that I've
up at 2 a.m. in the morning.
been getting into a little bit. The Gaelic football. I don't think it's the season for it at the moment in Ireland. I don't know when they play it, but I've been watching like just highlights and stuff of it, and it's very similar to AFL. And I think Australia sort of played it against Ireland a few years ago, like
Yeah,
a mixed
we had for
competition of
quite
it
a
sort of
long
thing.
time. They had an international rules series, but it got a bit violent for a
Yeah,
while there. And the Aussie boys used to go over a few of the AFL players. Let's just say they might have socialised a bit too heavily.
yeah.
So yeah, it's
Oh, not another 40-20. Ooh. The Gaelic hurling is insane. Like they got those wooden sticks and they're
yeah,
pinging around a ball that as hard as a cricket ball. I'd hate to be a goalie in that sport. You'd have to
yeah.
have some
Mate,
real
there's a
balls
few
to
of
be a
those
goalie in
sports,
that
right, that
sport.
just they're pretty wild.
You'd have to
But
have like you'd have to have like $1 million life insurance. Like, oh, it'd be ridiculous.
they don't know any different, right? So
No, yeah, that's their sport. So is the over there is the Gaelic hurling and Gaelic football sort of like the competition of how we have AFL and NRL, or are they sort of hand in hand, get along sort of thing?
yeah, they get along. They're much more played. They're run by the counties,
Yeah,
and they all sort of represent in those sorts of pieces. So
yeah,
it's sort of just they're just two different sports that sort of operate a bit more alongside. So I'm pretty sure the championship finals normally held in about mid May for the All Ireland football, so the Gaelic football.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
Cause,
they'll be back into season soon enough. But
yeah, because
there
I've
is like
noticed.
there's like Australasian tournaments and stuff that happen. So Big Tino's
Yeah,
back out there running the ball. We probably should get back to all of
back to the
this.
footy. Yeah,
A little bit of footy. I'll get a bit of an update on what's happening in the Matildas game as well. The Aussies have scored in the 85th minute through Caitlin Ford. They lead 2-1,
beautiful.
and that's just gone full time, actually. 2-1. The Matildas get a win as well. Nice friendly win.
Oh,
They'll take on the English on, I think, Wednesday morning. It's in the next couple of days anyway.
where's that at?
That will be in England, I believe. I'm not sure which
Yeah, right.
ground, though.
Wonder if Nathan Cleary will go and watch that game.
Quite
Oh, they're gonna
potentially.
get him.
Crichton's in for a double. The critter.
Beautiful.
Look at that. That's some good football. The man with 9 fingers gets 8 points. He is absolutely firing. He's running some good shape. Just
Yeah,
can't
this is
deal with him on
really
that
good
left edge of
football.
attack.
Oh, oh God, sorry.
That's all right, mate. It's 2 a.m. in the morning. I think
Yeah, that I was about to say. It's not
people
because this is
tuning in will
boring. I love
forgive
doing
you.
this, but yeah, it is very early in Australia.
So
Beautiful ball work. Tom Dearden, Nathan Cleary, all three halves. Just a nice offload from Munster. And Crichton goes in for two. He's headbutted the ball. He's falconed himself on purpose. I've done it. I didn't think I'd ever see that.
look, I love rugby league, and I'm a big fan of rugby league players, but sometimes they aren't the smartest people. So it is Wednesday morning, 6 a.m. our time, Pride Park Stadium at Derby.
Mm.
Nathan Cleary lines up this kick.
I didn't think in the first 20 minutes of watching this game, I didn't think that it would get to, well, I'll say possibly 20-0, but hopefully never I can say
That's just the
20-0.
thing.
We'll
Like
see.
realistically, Australia haven't dominated as much as the scoreline might reflect, but they've taken their
No,
chances a lot better. The English
yeah,
haven't really fired a shot, which is
no, especially not in their attacking part of the game, England.
20-0.
And can't really say the same about their defence because the scoreline hasn't really made it any easier to say much positive about them,
Yeah, look,
at least in this
I
medium
don't think
run.
there's been just this is just good eyes up second phase footy, bit of fitness. I
Yeah.
talked about that at half time. The fitness had started to take its toll and tell. But look, I certainly wouldn't be completely dejected if I'm England. Like they've showed enough here. It's just Australia have, as I said, taken their chances. They need to find some more attacking punch against this defensive lineup. So
hmm Australia knock on.
Is he going to challenge this here, Harry Grant? He's asking a question to the referee. Just looking at Nathan Cleary, it looks like that cut is just on the side of his nose, so nothing to worry about. Yeah, they are going to
No,
challenge.
they're going to challenge.
Work us through it, Jay. Work us through it, Jay.
Let's see what happens here. We'll see.
All right, talk me through when we see these replays what you think.
Alrighty, alrighty. I reckon that'd be a pretty good bunker. Oh, that's a push in the back. That should be a penalty.
Yeah, it's
They've
very
both
very
gotten
similar to
on
that one
top
in the
of him and
first
he's tried
half
to
that
play the
they that
ball.
they got.
Yeah. He's tried to play the ball and they've both just gotten flat on top of him like they're giving him a piggyback ride. Inconclusive. So England will get the ball, but we'll keep our challenge.
Correct.
That was a guess, but I figured that's how that would have worked.
Yeah, same as the NRL. Correct.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing that's coming
Is
up,
it?
Jay, not only England on the attack here, but November 1, which is obviously a big day in NRL. Players are coming off contract at the end of 2026 can start negotiating for 2027 from November 1.
This is, I say it every time they're in the hot zone, but this is England's biggest chance to score a try. Let's see if they have some type of set play, because every time they've been down here, either end of the field for attacking, they haven't really looked like they've had anything, and they still don't look like they have anything. Australia have had really good defence, but it gets to a point where you got to say, all right, the defence is good, but England's attack is just really not firing at all, and you can't keep saying Australia's defence is amazing when England's attack haven't
They're
really
just, mate.
even
I said in the first half,
worried
they're just not
Australia's
firing
defence.
shots here. They
No,
haven't
they're
really
not.
fired a shot. Australia's defence has done what's asked of them, but it's not like they've done anything revolutionary. That's a good ball. If
Oh,
KPP can get it away, that's a knock on
oh,
though. There's a knock on
no,
from
full
Williams to
put
Lewis.
knock
Yep,
on.
he's got that absolutely right.
Yeah, I feel really bad for that England player now. He celebrated really hard like he scored,
Well, that's what you
and
do.
he
You
has to
try and sell it to the
walk all the
referee,
way
but it didn't
back.
work. The referee got the right decision. Mikey Lewis, he wasn't a no either. When you're running through at 100 miles an hour, you're not knowing that the other players knocked that on. So
Australia can really take their foot off the gas pedal now. I mean, they've been pushing so hard for almost 69 minutes, so they can really just now they can afford to take their foot off the gas pedal, at least in attack, like you said earlier. If you're the Australian coach, try and keep England out and keep their score sheet on zero, but at least in attack, take their foot off the gas pedal. Early kick
yeah,
on
just go
third
through the
tackle.
motions, play territory, play smart, practice closing out your game.
40-20, doesn't quite get there. Yeah, wind the clock as much as you can. Be good if we had injury time. They could take some time off for hamstrings and things, but either way. Yeah, unfortunately for England, Piers Paul, yeah, he knocked it on and it went in forward anyway. I hope the second game isn't like this. I mean, for the sake of an Australian fan's point of view, I hope it is, but for our sake of view as watchers and I guess a neutral fan, I would hope that the second game will be a lot closer and maybe make it a bit more entertaining. Maybe not same atmosphere as a State of Origin sort of game, but hopefully scoreline wise. He's Farnworth. Good run. Passed it to absolutely no one. He's seeing ghosts, Herbie Farnworth. That was, don't know who he was passing to there. Australia get the ball back off, not really any, and nothing set from England, you could say.
Yeah, there's not a lot happening. I think this is just going to peter out now. I think both sides have accepted their fate. And from what we've seen so far, I reckon it's probably a two-horse race for man of the match.
Yeah, who have you got in mind?
I think it's either that man that's got the ball now, Reece Walsh, and he's just giving it out to Shibasaki, who's going to give it
And
back
he gets a
inside for
double.
Walsh to score and probably secure himself man of the match. Or
Yep.
Angus Crichton with his double. But I think now that Reece Walsh has a double, he's probably done a little bit more around other pieces.
Yep.
And the Aussies are
Yeah,
blowing
I
this
agree.
out. It looks like your 26 is going to be right. They just haven't England haven't fired their 10, unfortunately, mate. This has
Mm,
been a pretty solid outing for the Aussies. I think there's still quite a few things for them to work on for games 2 and 3. I
yep.
can't imagine that Kevy Walters, though, after this sort of margin, unless there's any injuries or obviously the Isaiah Yo piece, if he may have, depending on what category HIA, he may have a stand down.
Hmm. Yeah, they're just in shambles here, and they don't know what they're doing. And by this point, you never really give up, but you sort of lose hope. And I think they sort of lost that hope after Australia scored their third try. But yeah, I don't know how loyal England fans are in sport, but if I was an England fan, I'd probably start leaving now, beat the traffic and everything. I
You
don't
never
want their
leave early,
chances of
mate. Never leave early.
never.
You never, you
Yeah.
never know what you're going to see. You're not going to see a win from here, but I tell you what, you might see one of the most spectacular tries. I got dragged out early from Australia played New Zealand in Newcastle at McDonald Jones Stadium, as it's now known,
Hmm.
over a decade ago, and we were there. We were right in front of the corner post, and the game was done and dusted. We left with about 8 minutes to go because one of the boys was in a rush to get to KFC and he didn't want to get swarmed by the rush. And what ended up happening, I can't remember who the player was, but it was like a Justin Hodges, Greg Inglis sort of type. They ended up upside down vertical, scoring a try in front of that corner post. Again, didn't impact the result, but we would have been 10 metres from that. We were sitting in the second row in what is Bay 10, I think, at McDonald Jones Stadium down there on the in the Andrew Johns stand, and we would have been front and centre for that. So ever since then, I vowed you do not leave games early.
I mean, that sort of try based on what you've explained, and that's the norm now. That's an everything sort of
Yeah, look,
try
I
you
think
figure
I
out
think
every
even
day now.
then, like it was a proper upside down. Like he was vertical as Cleary. I think even now it'd be, it's much more regular. But back then, a decade ago, that was top shelf. Well, that's some terrible
Yeah.
camera work there. The cameraman, I think he's been
Oh yeah.
drinking on the job.
I
26
don't
nil
know.
with 7 minutes to go. That's surely Ice Reese Walsh, man of the match.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You'd call that one beautiful try, but I was gonna say try assist, but he ended up scoring the try. So
I
has
think I reckon
he
go
has he
some of
had
that
any try
KFC I was
assists?
just talking about. Get a bit peckish
Has he
after
had
sitting
any
there
try
watching this
assists?
footy.
On the topic of food, I could go for Christmas ham. We're not anywhere near Christmas, but we're getting there, and
Oh,
that's
mate,
one
it's
of the
it's
best
it's
things I
it's, it's
reckon.
less than 2 months away now.
Yeah, we're getting there. Oh, here
Oh,
they
here you
go
go, the
again.
Aussies.
Australia's just making a mockery. Oh, good tackle.
Good tackle. He managed to stay in though, did he?
Oh, how has he managed to keep that in the
And how
first
do you
place?
find a target with that part? They're
Oh my
playing touch
God,
football now. Munster, just the big don't argue, beats another two, three, four, five.
they're just toying with him.
All right. Well, while the Aussies are toying with them, anyone that you're excited to see when we're talking just before about that November 1 deadline day?
Oh my goodness,
That's
how's he
I don't.
managed
I'm,
that?
I'm wondering if did Farmworth get a hand to it before? No.
No, Shibasaki got to that, and Crichton was just a mile in front of him, and he just knocked it on, and it just went. Oh, Farmer's got a touch,
Yeah,
but
Shibasaki knock
I
on
don't think it was
first.
enough of a contradicting factor.
Yeah, there's some big names that are going to be off contract. When you have a look at it, Payne Haas is one of those. I can't imagine he's
I
going to
was
go
about to
anywhere
say that.
else. Joe
No,
Tarpanay,
not after the year he just had.
Atta Mariotta, they're big names at
Mm,
Viliami Kikau.
yeah.
What do the
Just
Eels need? What are they going to go after on November 1?
oh god, they need everything. They need to pull out some money out of their little magic hat, but they just spent bloody too much money on a brand new hotel at their leagues club. But I don't know. I think they need a good 5'8", a solid 5'8" that can actually steer the ship around to para the next coming years. A partner that can be with Moses and someone that is as reliable as Dylan Brown was in his first couple of years at the club. So we need
So
someone, I think, in a
basically,
halves
what you
role.
want is you want a Cam Munster,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you can't afford it. You can't afford it on your
No,
salary
we
cap.
cannot afford a Cam Munster, but I'd like someone, even a young kid that's progressing into him. But we've got a few of them already. Oh, like no, they're not going to call that. Oh my God, Stags
Easy
gets out
done,
so
easy
easily.
done.
Just on the penalty to England here.
We got an escort.
Oh, we're going to challenge again.
Yeah, oh,
Obstruction, I
you got to
think.
challenge it now with 4 minutes
Oh
left.
yeah, Cleary went
Yeah,
straight
Cleary
into
just
his
stepped
foot.
across. That's fair enough. So you think
Um,
someone like a Jaden Campbell,
yeah, I'd be very happy with someone like a Jaden Campbell.
Cody
That'd be really good.
Nikorima?
Yeah, that'd be a good one. Yep.
I'm just having a look through. Tyron Wishart could play six.
Mm, mm-hmm.
You can have
Well, we
Tyson
had
Gamble. I'm sure the Knights let you have him cheap.
I don't want him. I'd say no to him.
Luke
Well,
Metcalf would
when
have
you
been
look at
good, but
it,
he's just been snapped back up.
when we were in the midst of trying to sign Lockie Galvin, and then the Bulldogs snatched him, I just don't know if we signed him, if he would have been any good at us, or if he would have been the same as how he's playing at the Bulldogs now. Because he's come to the Bulldogs, he's spectacular, supposed to be a really good kid, and he's took
Yeah, but I
over
think I
Toby
think
Sexton's
what you've got to
role,
allow for
and
is a couple of things. One, trying to go and slot into a new side mid-season. You don't have time to go through pre-season and trials and find your shape and learn. He literally gets rocked up at a club and it's like, right, you need to go and do this. On top of that, when he's played in the spine, they've moved him to different positions. He's played off the bench. He's played at 6. He's played at 7. They've
yeah,
reshuffled him around. So I'm mate. I didn't like the way there's 6 more for the English. Surely they've got to get a try here. I didn't
they
like
have
what
to.
happened with the Lockie Galvin situation. I thought it was absolutely horrific to the Tigers. But at the end of the day, I'm
They
prepared to give
got
a bit of the
one.
way. There he is. Daryl
They
Clark
finally
just
got one.
barges over, gets the Poms on the board. I've never been so excited to see an English team score.
Consolation try. Hey, you shouldn't be excited. Come on, what are you doing?
Oh, mate, I'm happy for them. They haven't done anything flashy, but they've tore away. That's exactly the only way their try was going to come, just simply barging over because they haven't shown any shape of creativity.
Yeah,
26-4. They only need one more try for you to be right.
yeah. Please, come on, hurry up.
3 minutes
Start
to
turning
go.
that back. On the previous topic of 5/8 before, how badly do you think Dylan Brown is gonna make the Knights next year? I don't think
I don't know if he'll wreck the
he's
Knights.
gonna
I just
put them
don't
in
know that he's
stand.
going to deliver as much value as they're paying him. And when they've got that much investment
Yeah,
between him and Ponga, he's
yeah,
injury prone. Ponga's injury prone. And that was their biggest Achilles heel this year. Their two best players, Dylan Lucas and Kalen Ponga, are out injured for most of the year.
yeah, for sure. That was yeah. And even when Ponga's there, he sort of takes it into a one man show because there's no one really else at the Knights. No disrespect to the Knights, there's no one really else there that can step up and help him. He's sort of got to
Look,
try and do
I
it
think
all
they've got
himself.
some of the right building blocks. I just don't know whether they've got enough of them. To be fair,
Yeah,
though, like I would actually be playing, and people think I'm an absolute heretic for saying this. I'd play Kalen Ponga at left centre.
really.
Well, you've got
And
Dylan
but
Brown. You allow him to be the dominant half, but be a ball running half. Think what Cam Munster does. You put Sandon Smith at 7, Phoenix Crossland at 9. That means you've got Fletcher Sharp at 1, where he belongs. He's going to be awkward at 6. Kalen Ponga's
yeah,
awkward at 6, and then you just let Kalen Ponga. Remember when Tom Trebojevic played centre in Origin, but was left almost like a second fullback slash lock, where he's just allowed to
yeah,
roam free and pop up on the other side. That's what Kalen Ponga does. And then you've got Kalen Ponga and Dylan Lucas combining off an edge. You just give them early ball.
yeah, yeah.
I know
I
you're
can
paying
see.
him more than centre money, but at the end of the day, you either find the best way to get everyone into the team, or and let's be honest, that would then allow them to push Dane Gagai out to the wing. You then have Greg Mars. You come off the bench. Greg Mars, you can play through the middle a little bit as well as being an outside backup.
Yeah.
Here we go. The
Yeah.
boys are getting
Well, here
amongst
we
it. This is
go.
what
The
we like to
boys are
see.
in.
Bring back the Biff. Where's Red
Yeah,
Dragon?
that's it. Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, there's greater minds than me. Justin Holbrook, he's the man now, so we'll see what he does. But yeah, there's certainly some good players coming off contract. Um, it's going to be interesting to see where some of these guys land. How many of them remain at their clubs? How many of them
Yeah.
just maybe move on and retire?
Yeah. Did with Dom Young, did he come from rugby union?
Who's that? Sorry.
Or was Dom Young? Or did he always come from footy?
No, rugby league, English rugby league.
Yeah, well, I just he looks like he'd be a good rugby player.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Big lock or
Nah, he's
big
too
inside
too
centre.
skinny, mate. The problem with
Skinny?
tall blokes just playing going across the rugby union is playing in the forwards. It's just a different piece with the set piece and the scrums and stuff. Like you got to be 120 something kilos to play in the second row at his height.
Yeah.
So
Here we go. Tick under 2 minute or tick over, sorry, 2 minutes to go in this one. Australia
yeah,
leading
if I
in
was
by
your Eels
20
mate,
points.
Jaden Campbell would be the man I'd be going after.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I just don't know if we'd have the money to try and sign him.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? You should have enough cap space now. Like, and especially if you sign him
Yeah.
for 27, like the money that you're throwing at Pezet, you
Oh,
could throw at him.
I love Reece Walsh playing for Australia, but I also like seeing him get slammed.
Mate, what you'd give to have Ethan Sanders back?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Hopefully he
I
hits the
mean,
ground running. The E squareds, Ethan Sanders and Ethan Strange next year. That's the goal for my Raiders.
yeah. Well, I think with Para, like you see the difference of when Moses is out, we play pretty good, but then the second he comes back, you see a massive difference in footy, and it's like that. Like we just, oh, what a play, Foxy. Oh,
He
surely not.
kept it in. Dom Young's going to go back, and
Oh,
we'll have about 30 seconds
yeah.
to go once
You
they get the
see,
goal line dropout happening here.
you see when Moses came back, how much better our footy got, and how much he really took on that leadership role that he has, and it's just when he's there, he really helps us like play good footy, and we need him there. If we want a chance at making the top eight this year, we need him healthy, we need him fit,
Well, that's the
99.9%
same
of
for
the
any
game.
side though that's got a marquee half, right? And
Yeah,
realistically, he's top 4 or 5 halfbacks in the NRL.
yeah,
So at the end of the day, he's going to make that sort of impact. England go
yeah.
short here, but sort of mid-range. So I'm
Too
not quite
short.
sure what the point of that was. Nathan Cleary just pop one over here, you reckon?
Yeah, why not? Bit of insult to injury.
Salt in the wounds. Okay, tackle two Deardens there. He's going to send
I mean, another
Colamatungi.
try would be nice instead, but
What's that?
another try would be nice instead, but they look like they're going for the try here. They don't want to hesitate.
Nah, that'll be all she wrote. Oh,
That'll
Dom
be
Young
it.
looked like he's been sniped on the ground there when he's trying to crawl. And that will
Yeah,
be
the army
all she
crawl.
wrote. So I'm going to give you a moment to think about this as I start to wrap up. But I want your 3, 2, and 1 for this game.
Yeah.
But it is 26-6. Australia running out winners Walsh and Crichton with doubles, and Nathan Cleary with 5 goals from 5 attempts, 4 conversions, and a penalty goal. And the English looking a little morose, understandably so, as they now look ahead to what will be a second Ashes test and trying to turn around a 1-0 deficit. They need to win both of the next two. The next one will be at the new Everton Stadium at 1:30 a.m. Even later or earlier in the morning, later in the morning for us next week. So we'll see if we get back up for that. But all right, I've given you some thinking time. Who's your 3, 2, 1? Let's start with the
Yep.
1 point. Who was your third
The
best out
one.
there?
Third best. Ooh, I think maybe Cam Munster. He was sort of
Munster.
in and around the ball. He was doing a bit, but yeah, he was getting involved a fair bit. But I think he probably could have done a bit more today to get involved.
Yeah, he certainly could have been a bit more involved. I'm actually going to go with just a couple of last little pieces in defence, a couple of other pieces there. I'm going to go with the man that is Harry Grant. Wasn't flashy, wasn't
I
anything
was
else,
going
but
to
he's
say
just
him.
busy through the middle. What about your 2 points?
Yeah. My 2 points, Angus Crichton. It's hard to go past. He scored a double. He played really well actually, and for a second row, that's a pretty good game, especially playing for Australia. I mean, he had a really good game of footy, and just you couldn't go past it. 2 tries. He had a really good defensive game as well. He was sort of in and around everything, making tackles, and yeah, I think he just had a really good game.
Certainly and the 3 points. I think we're unanimous. We got the two together. The three together will
Reece
be
Walsh.
Reece Walsh. He had fingerprints on plenty. Couple of sloppy mistakes, but I think you'd be hard pushed to find any players that didn't make mistakes out there tonight. But your
Yeah.
chance is hand. I think when it comes to the next game, we just need to see a little bit more. I think George Williams probably needs to take a little bit of ownership of this team and just really try and get some things happening. Hopefully, another week together in camp for the English will work to their favour. But Only time will tell. As I said, 1:30 next Sunday morning will be the next test, the second test. Of course, Tonga will take on Samoa in a big clash tomorrow afternoon, or sorry, this afternoon, our time, 4 p.m. In Brisbane at Suncorp Stadium. And I think if I'm not mistaken, there's a women's game as well that might be the
Yeah,
Aussie Gillaroos taking on Fetu Samoa, the women's team as well. So that'll be 2 o'clock.
definitely.
So check that out if you are so inclined. But as always, Jay, good to have you on, mate. Thank you for coming on and having a chat, and great to see an Aussie win.
Yeah, it was really good to see an Aussie win there, Chris, and loved coming on. And thanks for that, mate. It's been a great morning, I should say.
Certainly has been a great morning. A big thank you to all of you who have tuned in. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button down below and follow along on our social media channels. You can find us on all your social platforms at The Chris Mack Show. But until next time, on your home of the black and white sport, no grey opinions here. A big thank you for tuning in, and we'll talk to you again soon.